Thanksgiving is also a very, very big college football weekend, and all three of the big undefeated teams are in rivalry games, the best one being Alabama against surprising Auburn in the Iron Bowl against the number one team, and Gary Danielson will have that game after he had one of the wildest finishes you will ever see, a play that will be used in coaching clinics and will be used forever about how not to play a ball that is thrown up for grabs, and it went for a touchdown. Gary, welcome. How are you?
It's a good lead-in. I have to.
Yes, and a play that listen, in his exuberance, I can't blame the kid for wanting to catch the ball, but I don't know if it hit his shoulder pad or what it did, but the way it went up in the air, and give the receiver credit for having the wherewithal. He caught that over his shoulder, over his helmet. It was a nice catch he made after the ball was in the air. Yeah,
especially he's running full speed. He actually lost sight of it, and really one player knocked the ball away from another player for Georgia on the play. So, yeah, I think the bigger picture here, though, is what the play meant for Auburn as it goes into this football game. First of all, a lot of things happened. I mean, already had Georgia hung on in that game, Missouri would have already qualified to play in the SEC championship. Alabama would have already qualified to play in the SEC championship. So a lot of things happened, but mostly for Auburn, they're going to go into this game thinking about two things. Yes, they're always alive, but also, they had a 20-point lead, and they just disintegrated in the fourth quarter. And that is going to weigh on their minds. They're going to come into this game against Alabama. They're going to be looser. They're playing with house money. For goodness sakes, if Auburn would have won 7 games this year, everybody would have been happy. But they come into the game loose, but they're going to enter. If they have a chance to win this, it's going to enter that fourth quarter, and they're going to look up there and go, the pressure will shift to them, and we'll see how they handle it.
Yeah, I agree. The question I would have, and I don't think it's a good answer, can the Auburn quarterback beat them with his arm if Alabama can shut down that very intricate running game? And I think the answer is no. I don't think he throws it well enough.
Well, we don't know for sure. He throws pretty good. He threw for over 3,000 yards in junior college. Remember, much like Cam Newton came to Auburn, a junior college quarterback. He was one of the great passing quarterbacks in high school, threw over 100 touchdown passes, highly recruited as an athlete, great basketball player, could have played either college basketball at the highest level or college football. He wanted to play football, went to Georgia, and was behind Aaron Murray, and he wanted to play. And think about this. Georgia thought that he was going to be an elite corner, a Champ Bailey NFL corner.
That tells you what kind of athlete he is.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Now, he throws the ball well, but I think your overall assessment is right. It's hard to believe that if Auburn can't run, they're going to all of a sudden drop back and be able to pick up the sophisticated blitzes and the coverages and everything that Alabama uses. I can't envision that. Auburn better be able to run, and if they run just enough, I think Nick Marshall's arm will be good enough to throw.
Let me ask you the tough question here, Gary, and that is how much or how scared are the powers that be that Florida State disintegrates at the quarterback position with off-the-field problems before they ever play in a title game?
Well, I don't think that's going to happen. No, the word down here, I guess for the title game, that's possible. The word down here now is that the decision to prosecute or not is not going to or to indict or not, I guess is the proper word, is not going to happen until after the vote for both the Heisman and the BCS vote into the championship game. However, I kind of trust people here. I mean, Mike, what is our country based on other than, you're presumed innocent.
Absolutely. No, and listen, and this is a disgrace. If he's not innocent, if he's guilty, that's one thing. If he's not, you know what? He is being treated miserably here with these stories never going away. Now, I don't know if he's guilty or innocent. I have no clue.
And we're not going to know. And even through the champion, he may get indicted. He may have to go and be charged. But, I mean, our country is based on.
I learned not to jump because a lot. Listen, the Duke thing taught us very well. Everybody had them completely guilty, and you know what? We all learned it wasn't not a shred of truth to that story.
And even more than that, our country's based on we would rather let 10 guilty people go free than have one innocent person go to jail. That's our system.
Yep.
That's the way we founded our country. So we're just going to have to buckle up tough here now as voters and just go, listen, it's worse. God, can you imagine not voting for Jameis Winston because you think something might have happened off the field, and then you find out 6 months down the line that this was all a farce?
You know what scares everybody here is the Penn State thing, is that there's a Penn State mentality that they've closed ranks there, and they're, and like they're hiding something.
That's true.
That's I think what scares people.
That's true, but that's not for us to decide as a vote for Heisman. You do.
I agree. Listen, I vote too, and I agree, and I will not let. I admit I will not let this impact my vote for the Heisman,
and
because it's not fair. It's not fair that it does. And we might learn later that we got bilked, but you know what? I can't worry about that.
We can survive that. That's exactly right.
All right, let's get back to this game. Well, let me take all three. We'll take them one at a time. Florida's a mess. Florida State's a machine. If Florida State goes in and buries Florida, which I think it will, is there going to be a shakeup in Florida?
No, well, a shakeup, yes, but not a major Well, I guess it is an overall. But if it's not, they're not going to turn everybody out. Will Muschamp is still believed to be building the program.
So he'll be safe?
I think he will.
Okay.
Jeremy Foley understands what happened this year. Remember, early in our broadcast together, I said the most important player in the SEC was quarterback Jeff Driscoll from Florida. And it wasn't because I thought he was the best player. I just kind of knew what the rest of the quarterbacks would bring to the table. We all knew what Aaron Murray and Zach Mettenberger and Johnny Manziel and A.J. McCarron were going to bring. The wild card was Driscoll. There was no backup behind him basically at all. He going down, they did not have a lot of talent there to begin with. Whoever fault that is, I think they're going to give Muschamp one more chance to rebuild this.